Bonjour, bonjour, je fais juste gaffe que les réglages soient bons. Ok. Ok, le micro et le casque ne sont pas débranchés cette fois. Bonjour à tous, j'espère que tout le monde va bien. Bonjour Galapagos, bonjour Eden, bonjour Shaolé, bonjour Groyanish. Alors, ça a fonctionné correctement. Ouais. On peut me le détecter. Ah, tout va bien. Et les grosses séries de visionnage. Bien, merci à vous encore une fois Galapagos et Eden d'être aussi fidèles et au rendez-vous. Excusez-moi, je regarde le chat qui part faire sa vie au bord de la fenêtre. Mais il faut pas le dire trop fort. Bon, bah voilà, c'est Shaolé, c'est parti. Grâce à toi. Ou malheur à toi, je sais pas encore. Je sais pas où je me situe. Mais je crains le pire. Euh...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a
Sur le
cabin,
chemin dans les bois, et la fin
and
de
in the
ce
basement
chemin,
of
il y a
that
une
cabin
petite cabane.
is a princess.
Et à la cave de cette cabine, de cette cabane,
You're
il y a une
here to
princesse.
slay her.
Tu es là pour la tuer.
If you don't,
Et si tu ne le fais pas,
it will be
ce
the
sera la fin
end of
du
the
monde.
world.
Ouais, je sais que je peux le mettre en français, mais il n'y a pas les voix en il y a pas les voix en français, il paraît. C'est ça l'histoire? Ah, ok, les voix restent en anglaise. Ok. Attends. Ok, ça change tout. Bon, là, c'est pas encore à jour, mais là, c'est bon. La fin du monde, on peut être plus précis. Avez-vous envisagé qu'elle pourrait causer la fin du monde uniquement parce qu'elle est enfermée? L'exécution d'une princesse, c'est un peu immoral, vous ne trouvez pas? Personne d'autre ne peut s'en charger. Putain, il y a là les choix. Laissez tomber, je refuse de faire ça. Vous nous êtes pas dit que je n'étais pas contre la fin du monde? Si je le fais, vais-je recevoir une quelconque récompense? Parfait. Ah d'accord, merci de me dire ce que je dois faire. Génial, j'ai toujours rêvé d'exécuter une souveraine. Vive la révolution! Avancez la charge en silence, tournez les talons. Le chat... Le chat cache les options que tu as? Ah, le chat... Ah oui, pardon, ouais, tu as raison. Absolument. Excuse-moi. Bon, par contre, ma cam... Pas réglée comme ça doit être mieux. Ouais, c'est mieux. Je règle ça tout de suite. Explorer signifie que tu peux cliquer à 100... Oui, oui, ok. Ok. Régler, alors, excuse-moi. J'étais sur... On va mettre là, du coup. Et ma grosse tête... prend un peu de place. Voilà. Regardez-moi bien, tiens, je vais bien me grossir. Comme ça. C'est mieux. C'est mieux. Faut sortir ou pas? Non, pas pour l'instant. La cam va cut les sous-titres? Tu penses? Pas de là, vraiment? Les petites, là? Non? Alors, attends. Excusez-moi, je me décale. Hop. Il y a quoi en dessous là? Il y a rien. Ça devrait être bon. Ok, bon, on est bon là, c'est bon. Donc moi, la seule chose que j'ai envie de répondre... Putain, de chat de merde. Excusez-moi. Elle veut rentrer avant que je lance le stream, et évidemment, sortir quand j'ai lancé. T'as pas un chat sinon. Moi, la seule question que j'ai envie de poser, c'est celle-là. Vous êtes pas dit que je n'étais pas...
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Personne ne souhaite la fin du monde. Bah si.
I mean, maybe some people do. Like, nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Pas de qui il parle. Loki sort de ce corps. Ça me fait beaucoup rire. Ça me fait beaucoup rire.
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Je lis pas
You'll
du coup,
find
hein,
the
vous pouvez
princess
lire.
within.
Ouais, quoi que non. Si. Vous voulez que je lise ou pas? Que je lis. Vous aimez ma belle voix de maître de jeu que vous entendez tous les soirs de semaine et même le dimanche après-midi.
A warning
Avant
before
d'aller plus
you
loin,
go
je
any
tiens à vous
further.
prévenir. Non, pas besoin de lire. Ok.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Magnifique. J'aime.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table, the blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult.
Quoi que j'aurais pu essayer d'étrangler, ça aurait été plus marrant. Pardon. Oh yes, j'ai la petite lame dans la main, dans la souris.
The door to the basement creaks open,
Mais attends, ça veut dire que c'est
revealing
ma
a
main, mais
staircase
elle était glauque,
faintly
j'avais des griffes et
illuminated
tout.
by an
C'est horrible, en
unseen
fait,
light in the
j'avance.
room below. This is an oppressive place.
Et l'étrangler serait plus marrant. Bah ouais, clip-moi ça. L'ambiance est oppressante, l'air est lourd et humide. Si la princesse... Ça peut faire long feu cette princesse. Si la princesse vit ici, l'Oxyre serait une sorte de libération.
Her
Absolument.
voice
Absolument.
carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Je crois que...
Don't be a stranger. It's
Mais-
been so
Ah,
long
putain,
since I've
mais
had
du coup,
any
il y a ce
visitors.
type,
Come on down.
Oh, elle a la voix la plus creepy du monde, hein. Vraiment, tuer cette femme. Pardon. Elle va sortir. Pas de féminicide ici, bien évidemment. On est contre. Bon, je remonte un peu ça parce que du coup, sinon, vous voyez pas les dialogues là. Et juste au cas où, pour les viewers, le jeu est assez graphique, oui, donc faut regarder qui est la personne. T'inquiète. T'es caté. Ferme les yeux, j'arrive. Ça aurait été plus drôle sans la lame. Ouais, si je pouvais. Mais ouais, j'ai pas réfléchi. Ne m'ignorez pas, je n'ai pas reçu de visite depuis tellement longtemps, descendez de me voir. Bah avec plaisir, t'inquiète.
You walk down the stairs and lock
Vu
eyes
sa
with the
voix,
princess.
franchement,
There's a heavy chain
red flag,
around
la
her
voix.
wrist,
Red flag, coup de
binding
poignard.
her to the far wall of the basement.
Mais il y avait 2 chaînes à l'époque. C'était peut-être mieux quand il y avait 2 chaînes.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Non. Quoi, n'importe quoi, comment vous imaginez une chose pareille? Je suis démasqué, je suis effectivement là pour la tuer. Pour vous tuer. Non, pas du tout. Je n'ai pas encore pris mes décisions. Je suis venu pour discuter, c'est tout. Prendre votre courage à deux mains et avancer. Non, on va lui mentir un peu avant.
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away,
Non,
doesn't
non, non.
it?
Non, le grand couteau que vous tenez dans la main était serrateur. Non, pas
The
du tout.
blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
Tranquille. Franchement, non mais c'est vraiment fait exprès, tu vois, c'est genre non. La main.
Don't
blabla.
you dare.
N'y songez pas.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Si, ah bah si.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
Ah bah oui, fais les petits yeux de biche là. Vu ta voix, t'inquiète, hein. T'es un serpent là, t'as la langue fourchue.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Ah voilà.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to
Non.
get close enough to
On
use
fait dans le
it.
lancer de couteau, nous.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been
Très
fractured.
grave. Comme si on avait hésité, quoi.
Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many
par contre, je suis
times or
clairement
more,
reptilien, hein.
each impact as heavy as
Dégueulasse,
that
hein.
first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
On va la découper un peu partout, elle va pisser le sang et mourir, non?
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding
y a
is
du
certain
sang,
to
bien
finish the job.
Il y a du sang sur la petite pointe.
The two of you clash for the final time.
Ah, voilà.
You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's
Ah,
heart.
mais c'est pas une princesse, c'est des arts martiaux, quoi.
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
Non.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder. Do you really think this is the end?
Ah, c'est... Voilà, le jeu était bien, hein, cool.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
Sans cas bien
is a
dépensé.
princess.
Nickel.
You're here to slay her.
J'ai déjà une réponse déjà vue. Attendez, on a déjà vécu ça. Oui, mais non. Et je suis mort. Qu'est-ce que je fais ici? Elle va encore me tuer. Et j'ai déjà aussi la princesse, d'accord. D'accord, elle aussi elle m'a tué. Mais je l'ai eu, c'est sûr. Qu'est-ce que je fais encore ici?
A warning. Before she will lie, lying. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is
Pardon,
capable
excusez-moi.
of
Je passe un
lying
dialogue.
in.
Excusez-moi.
It was to give you some broadly applicable advice.
Ah, il y a un historique. Trop bien. Ah, merci. N'hésite pas à mentir à toucher, enfin tout ce que... Elle lui ressemble pas du tout, de toute façon c'est pas comme si elle pouvait mentir. Fiché au milieu d'une baston. Voix de l'obstiné.
The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
J'adore que ce soit la même voix qui parle différemment.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest.
Plus
Its
pareil.
cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is the blade is your implement. You'll
Ah ouais, je veux me voir.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Oh, stop bickering and just get on with it. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
Je me fous pas de savoir si on me ment. Moi, ça m'importe, je veux voir à quoi je ressemble, je veux voir si je suis beau. Mais non, je suis un monstre. Tu as raison, peu importe, s'approcher du miroir.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend.
Ah, pas de voix.
Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement
tout à fait
wall.
le même genre de princesse, quoi. Ou plutôt sur du... Cheflin, quoi. Cheflin, un peu des sabots de chèvre aussi.
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes.
Non, mais elle est pas masochiste. Ne vous inquiétez pas. Pas du tout. Pas ce que vous croyez.
I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Non, mais est-ce qu'on peut apprendre à se battre, s'il vous plaît?
Good. With a singular focus, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count. Oh, we'll make it count, all right. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard.
Notre Fred.
Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing. We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm. You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. And you find yourself in midair, effortlessly tossed across the room.
Wow.
You hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully. But you can feel the hilt in your grip. You still have your weapon. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
Wow, l'anglais et les sous-titres, c'est pas du tout la même chose. Hein. Ah non, mais c'est parce qu'il y a ça.
This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Quelqu'un me cache la gauche du texte, c'est trop long. Commence à me saouler, hein. Et quoi, moi, je me mets où, là? Voilà. Non, bah non, parce qu'il y a des images. Ah, mais en fait, c'est pas fait pour être streamé, quoi, c'est de la merde. Franchement, là, ça va être pareil. Non, mais ça va être là, hein, écoute.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
Vous m'appartenez. Ah ouais?
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping.
How disappointing.
Ah. Le crâne va exploser. Dommage.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
On compte les morts. C'est une bonne question. Shaolé, faut compter les morts ou pas?
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it.
La peur est notre allié.
So what? You'd have us cower in a corner?
Non mais est-ce que c'est des vrais morts ou c'est des morts qui font partie de l'histoire, quoi, c'est ça? Mais je pense que c'est des morts normales, Eden.
No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The blade is your implement. You'll see? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You do see it, right? All we see is a damned mirror. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there.
Avec la deck, ça peut l'air simple. Ouais.
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require care. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness.
En gros, elle est comme nous. Un espèce de reptilien lézard dragon, quoi.
Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real—
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. I really don't like the sound. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this, so go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
You step forward, stopping just outside the reach of her chains. The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you?
Moi? Bon, c'est pas parce que j'ai une dague que...
You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting.
J'ai rien dit, moi, madame.
I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
D'accord.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run.
Ah, j'ai pas le choix?
Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance.
Non mais j'aurais pas fait ça. Hein.
As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass.
Ah, quelle erreur.
You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you. You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on? Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now! As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh.
Réflexe opportunité réussi. Oui. Et esquive. Réflexe esquive aussi.
It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually gonna pull this off, aren't we?
On la tue, on se fait capturer, on se fait mettre à sa place.
Just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
Elle est complètement malade.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again.
Mais il me faut une plus grande lame, c'est ça le problème. C'est vraiment une question de taille.
She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady. More! Keep going, we can't stop, now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us! But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something.
And? Then what happens? She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Moi je dis on ressemble à la princesse, mais full transfo.
He is. Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here.
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
There's something dreadful about it, that thing.
Screw the mirror. We just...
I'm begging you. It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
Un beau française qui se fait massacrer par un monstre H24 depuis 2 siècles.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Moi j'essaie de mettre fin à ma vie alors. Parfois, sacrifice est la seule solution, hein.
There's nowhere for you to be but here. My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Ouais, denied, j'ai tenté de denied, mais voilà, raté. James toujours dans l'action, pas le temps pour les questions. Bah non, là on était... Ah oui, bah super, on doit discuter. Moi, le nom du jeu, c'est Slay the Princess. Il n'y avait pas de questions à avoir. Slay the Princess. Hop, on termine.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one remembers a spark lost in time, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim it. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally remembered what she thought she'd lost. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me.
Oui.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. I know
J'aime
only
ce soir,
that they are.
magnifique. Je sais seulement qu'ils... Super.
nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
Et les
There
détruire.
is no
Super.
exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Bonne remarque. Bonne remarque.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Ouais, dirait un peu Loupiro, hein.
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow.
Mère pour le follow, merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup The Gamer 95-88. Je ne vais pas y retourner.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Attendre pour l'éternité.
You are as I am
Vous
now,
êtes actuellement...
and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side.
Ah. Super. Super. C'est très malin. En vrai, c'est très malin. C'est smart de la part du jeu. J'aime beaucoup. Ça fait vraiment comme Inscription qui te... Enfin voilà, qui
You have
cassait le
returned to
mur.
me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Incroyable, en plus ça se relance directement sur le truc, c'est vraiment bien. Sauf que vous voyez pas pour l'instant, voilà, nickel. You cannot escape. Et c'est pas mal, j'aime beaucoup moi quand ça casse comme ça. Ok.
Everything, until we meet again. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh shit, here we go again. CJ, le boss. Regarde tes succès. Ouais, j'ai vu mes succès, j'en ai plein. The real Slay the Princess starts here, of course. Course.
You're here to slay her. If you...
Yeah.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Hein?
Good.
Hein?
What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Dies, forever. C'est donc ça le destin. Oui. C'est les fameux scénariums 3000 du MJ, mon cher gros Yannick. Cet chantage affectif ne poussera pas à le faire.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that.
Exactly. Oh, super.
But fine,
voilà.
You turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
L'univers, oui. Il ne sert à rien de lutter, n'est-ce pas? Je dois entrer dans le chalet, hein, d'accord. Oh, vraiment? Eh bien, je crois que je vais partir dans une autre direction encore, en fait. Je vais simplement marcher dans les bois jusqu'à ce que je trouve un autre moyen de quitter.
There's always a choice.
Voilà.
Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
Oh, la musique.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realise that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Ah oui, nickel. Parfait.
In every direction,
bah nickel.
there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin.
The cabin.
An infinite fractal
Voilà,
of
c'est ça le
paths and
destin
cabins,
Yannick. Là, on est
desperately
vraiment
trying
face à
to
mon
draw
destin.
you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness, but it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Let's go!
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Là, on est enfermé, là, il y a un mur.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Oh, le mec têtu, j'adore. Ces murs n'étaient pas là la dernière fois.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Voix du contradicteur, j'adore.
He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Non mais j'aime beaucoup ça, hein, le mec têtu
Oh,
comme
that's
ça.
clever! A little boring, though.
Oui.
It's extremely boring. Can we really do that? Can we really just do nothing? No, you can't just
JDR,
do nothing. You have to do something.
Non, c'est du JDR.
Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing forever. Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? Everything's getting fuzzy. What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even here anymore. Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
Non.
You're on a path in the woods.
Bah voilà, le
And at
succès,
the
c'est
end of
ça.
that path is a cabin.
Denial.
And in the basement of that cabin
Retournez sur le chemin de votre
is a
destin.
prince. You're here to...
Ou subissez les conséquences. Super.
While I appreciate the mental exercise we are... Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more... Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your...
La princesse c'est obéissé où? C'est ça.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the shore. A warning. Before she will lie, she will cheat. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't...
Oui, on connaît, on connaît.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is the blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table.
Oh, j'aurais dû descendre sur la lame encore.
The door to the base. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. It's all good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with she's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that's so, you should just...
She's unarmed. If you... You lunge forward without a moment. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Putain, j'aurais commencé comme ça, je me serais posé d'autres questions.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes.
Even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes
la tête de
herself
blasé
to
de
be
la vie.
alive and well.
Ouais, bon, c'est bon.
But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago. That arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Non, alors, moi j'ai entendu dire, ils ont fait ça dans Atoria, ils ont mis un coup de bouclier en plus sur la hache, au cas où, histoire de bien l'enfoncer.
It's over. Don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Après, nous, il avait deux têtes, c'était pas une princesse, c'est pas grave.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
T'as vérifié? Non, j'ai pas vérifié, non. Non, non. Il m'a dit partir, je suis parti. Vraiment.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Alors, vous serez heureux. Bah, si je serais heureux, alors, c'est des conneries, sortez-moi d'ici. Oh, d'accord. Moi, j'aurais une meilleure fin pour avoir sauvé le monde. Non, le haut, d'accord.
So glad you're keeping an open mind.
Genre, ça fait me râler.
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never...
Un peu... Excuse-moi, c'est au cas où.
Psst. Hey,
We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Tu n'as pas entendu le narrateur.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
Peut-être que je suis pas heureux. Désolé, contredire MJ, c'est la base. Mais oui. Bon d'accord, peut-être que je ne suis pas heureux. Putain, c'est n'importe quoi. Nous sommes heureux,
Really?
je suis convaincu.
Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
Parfait.
Please shake yourself out of it. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears.
Absolument.
Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Ok.
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here, though you're probably not going to like it.
Bien joué.
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero.
C'est ma première fois en succès perso, je trouvais ça très drôle. Ok.
He's right. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it, don't you dare. How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you. In a sense, we'd die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to. If we die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
Oui, t'étais heureux, je comprends. Mais là, après, bon, voilà.
You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
On n'a même pas de truc à faire, ok.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then that's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before... Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that... Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too.
J'adore.
Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying. Just stay focused, will you? Just be quick about it. That's a good point. How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round. Yes, maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world. And now but that's assuming she's alive in that cabin. You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been... And let me assure you, killing her will not end the world. I don't know what you think happened to you last time, but it's a load of... Well, that's exactly what we... Really? Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you? Oh well, there's no use arguing over your masochism. The cabin awaits. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course we're special. I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate and up. This is boring. He's clear. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning. She will lie. She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin is cold. A soft odor of dirt permeates. The blade is your implement. It feels like no one's been here for a... Like I've been saying. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick... The room below, nobody's here. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be... I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the... Okay. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we... Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air. No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through.
You're adorable when you're confused.
But I didn't say you could touch me.
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what?
Bon les amis, j'ai encore d'idées, j'attends vos suggestions. Oh, dans le chat, t'en attends les suggestions. Pardon. Faut faire gaffe à son cri, la dernière est devenue sourde pendant un moment. Ouais, je vois ce que tu veux dire. Tire la précédence en mettant du cœur à l'ouvrage.
You swing at the princess once more, and once more your blade cuts through nothing.
Really?
Her voice chides from elsewhere in the room. You whirl around, finding her hovering between you and the basement stairs, looking you over with grim disappointment. She draws in close.
I was willing to let bygones be bygones, killer. I was willing to ignore everything you did to me so we could get out of here. Together. All I ever wanted was to leave this place. All I ever wanted was to find a way back home. Wherever home is.
Her eyes turn from wells of sorrow to pits of wrath as she stares in.
I guess violence is the only language you speak.
She forces her hand into your chest. Yes? Nothing happens. Are you sure about that? And yet it didn't. You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what a horrific splintering, the squelching of organs.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body.
She's real now. If she's... You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal throat. It connects. A gash widens, but it's too little, too late. In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart. It thumps unsettlingly. Did we get her? Even if we didn't, we've given her something to
elle a plus de
remember.
gorge quand même, hein.
See you soon, killer.
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, every... You're on a path in the woods, and here we go again. The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost, we start... Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. And what if there isn't? Aren't you listening? That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind... I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be, seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some... Okay, so you've already been here. Twice, even. Great. Then nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario. Well, we didn't... we killed ourselves. And why, pray? Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us. That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy. Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful. Yes, and then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all fake. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed. All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something. Tell you what, I won't do that. I promise. Oh yeah, sure. I mean, he did. And you believed it. If I had to make a wager, I'd say that's a hedge, not a wager. I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds... So, yes, I'm the same me, but I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves. But he's asking for it. Maybe there's someone... They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You... You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before, those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason... How convenient, everything always comes back to what you want us to do. I'm sick of him. Makes me want to end the world out of spite. On second thought, let's not kill him. Let's throw him someplace that... Then she finds a way out on her own. Ugh. So, standing... Only we don't have to see her. That's gotta be better. No, it's strict. But she can't kill us out here. Why would staying out of killing distance? Because it's cowardly, for starters. And because the unknown is always worse than the known. But really, all you're doing right now is weighing to the only solution worth considering is slaying her, and whatever delusion is holding you back from doing that is just that. How are we supposed to decide on anything if you just keep coming up with new rules? Since you continue down the path towards the... It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite... The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her... Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. It sounds like somebody's a... There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and talk sense into you, the more single-minded they get about... Would you look at that? We take it however you will. The interior of the cabin is long and dark. The only furniture of note is... That's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Great. Something else has been taken away from us. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward, towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others. I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation, we just need this to be over. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway.
What? Okay.
What are the odds she's waiting for us right now? You reach your arm forward into the pitch black. Nothing. It's like this place read our mind.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it...
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing your bones. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what? I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little better, a little worse.
Pas du tout terrifiante, évidemment.
Well, maybe a lot worse. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it, completely helpless, just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different. Do we even have a choice? You always have. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time. Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade? Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts. You violently struggle against the princess, but all you manage to do is grind the
It's so easy to make you squirm, but I won't be crueler than I have to be. I don't even want to cause any more damage.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess. Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a... Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up. Are you seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she... You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command... It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out. I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support.
Merci, Eden.
There's another option, you know. Don't help either of them. That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle. In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your... Capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess struggle over the reins of your body. One foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends. Enough is enough. I'm tired of us all... You throw everything you have against her and manage, for one brief moment, to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole.
Why do you hate me?
Her thought slips through you, unheeded as you fall.
Non mais elle est calme.
What an end. But at least it's ours. An empire of frigid nothing. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it. What happens now?
But you knew what happens now. You wanted it.
But I want to know what he thinks happens now.
I don't think you're going to find that out.
Oh? And why is that?
You should pay better attention to your head. You left. Gone. It's just you and you and you and me. Idiot.
He's gone. But
What's happening to me?
Et voilà. Une de plus. Comme ça qu'on fait.
she's gone. Oh, and there's that mirror again. I would have kept them in the dark if I were you. What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before. So you're the real puppet master here? Can't believe I...
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now. There is a hurt that dwells in them, but they are not me. They are thoughts and perspectives. They are feelings that inform my being.
Un beau bordel,
The
hein.
wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before.
Elle a mis les mains sur la blessure.
I cannot be as I was before. Gifts aren't what someone tells you. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I, but in this moment, my preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
Devenir bien toxique, hein.
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
Oui. Après la visée, elle fait des choix, hein, elle prend des décisions, la pauvre. Souvent des mauvaises... Quoi? Pardon. Ah, t'es là, Eden? Ah, ça va?
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her. That's the spirit. You make your way up the shore. A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go... Ignore him.
Si elle continue, je vais prendre ma retraite d'évisement. Mais non. Tu gères très bien.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. Her voice carries up.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. It's good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock up. She's so coldly focused on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
On va refaire les mêmes choix? Je croyais que je pouvais pas refaire les mêmes choix, j'ai pas compris.
You step forward. Your grip.
Oh? No talking then? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, so you
She's unarmed.
Ah oui, mais comme je me suis fait réinitialiser, non, je sais pas.
You lunge forward without a... You feel flesh.
Oh, this is it. I'm almost... Do you actually believe this?
It's like she's convinced. Yes, but it's over. Is it over?
Ah, voilà, ok.
It's... We should make sure. I really don't... And why shouldn't we? I've told you everything that's happened.
Ok, ouais.
You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt, but as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in... What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort. The little...
An eye for an eye. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? For whatever that's worth, everything goes dark.
Ouais, elle est terrifiante, ouais.
And you die.
Excusez-moi, je passe un peu vite, mais hein, voilà. The Raider.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. A terrible sense of deja vu. No, if he doesn't remember what happened.
This whole thing stabbed to death.
Non, c'était qui?
Yeah, that's exactly
c'est
what you
Roncha.
told us last time.
J'ai raté un truc? Non, c'est tout? Non, c'est tout.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons. So there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. Like I said, we've
Love
just
the
met for the
princess.
first time, you and I.
Il y a absolument aucun monde où James va être gentil ou moi. Le jeu s'appelle Slay the Princess, j'insiste. Genre, je suis pas là pour faire copain-copain avec elle en fait. Slay the Princess, hop. Quand je joue à Call of Duty, je suis pas en train d'aller faire la cuisine. Bon, l'appel du devoir, je vais tuer des gens. Quoi? Oui, bon, allez hop.
A warn, she will lie.
Ikun, we know what to look out for this time.
Je vais trop vite. On n'aurait pas dit mieux, mais on va vraiment aller jusqu'au bout. J'ai bien envie de dire tant pis pour toi, mais malheureusement on est coincés ensemble ici.
Just stay. The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats, the air seeping up from below, has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like...
That's right, scraping.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains her grating voice.
I hope you've come to rescue me.
There is something so wrong.
Yeah, she thinks she's
Oh, la
better
voix,
than
quoi.
us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Par curiosité, non, moi j'ai pas de curiosité.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Oh, cette voix. Je voudrais vous faire confiance, vous êtes trop louche. Je n'ai pas la clé.
That doesn't sound like me.
Last time?
What? Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that loop back to the start. Someone else has. Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not...
Ça, j'avais jamais vu, c'est un doigt d'os pour faire glisser.
Oh, you don't. Okay, I see. I have an idea. You should come over here and stare directly at the chains. You won't be able to find a key if you don't know what it's supposed to look like, so you better come right within close staring distance just to be sure.
I have absolutely zero doubt she certainly feels. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has. But you know who is armed? You. But all the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste.
She looks fine, right?
A knife? What are you talking about? I don't have a knife. And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to stab you to death. It would be so silly of me to cut you open and look at your insides.
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood. Fortunately for you.
It would be so much easier to prove that I do have a sharp object. I could just show it to you, but I don't have one, so I can't.
The princess smiles as she pulls her hands from behind her back.
But look at this! Hands! Hands that don't have anything in them to stab you with!
Her smile stretches into an even wider grin as she shakes her sleeves.
And empty sleeves, too! Look at how few stabbing implements I have. It's practically zero. I've shown you all of my hiding spots. What kind of princess do you think I am? I would never hide something sharp somewhere secret.
Bah c'est bon du coup, bah oui.
Wait, that sounds like I'm lying, but I'm actually not. My secret zones are for me, only they have nothing to do with you or my intention to not stab you to death the second you get close to me.
Her smile drops for a moment, her expression sharp and...
I assure you, there's nothing hidden there.
I'm inclined to believe her on that. Of course, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have something...
What? No! And you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk...
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you... We're clearly still figuring out our angle. We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance. Oh, I'm sorry, do you think I'm in a position of luxury? You're acting like you are. My entire world... And maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way.
Oui.
No. I have my dignity.
Oh.
Fine. I will continue to treat you exactly how you deserve.
That's so rude of you, passing judgments on strangers you've never met just because their silly little bird face thinks he's so serious coming down here but doesn't know anything. Thinks he could tell me to get rid of all the knives I don't even have while he gets to win. I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged for no reason.
I think I've said my piece at this point. I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your question...
It's boring if you leave.
She's bored. That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion. Huh. So I guess she did have a knife of her own after all. How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now, at least we're safe here. She's still in... And those chains stop her from continuing her advance. At least for a moment. She looks down at them with something between annoyance and then she slices through her arm.
Tellement prévisible.
Okay, maybe we aren't safe here. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope to outpace. Ah, shit. Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it. And use it you do. But unfortunately for you, and for the entire world, you keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange, before she severs your hand and, with it, your only line of defense. She's much better at this than she was. Yeah, it's unreal. Bloody cheater.
I'm going to kill you now.
And with a squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die.
La course aux armements.
You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? I feel dizzy. Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the circles getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't... Yeah, but for whom? Someone or something is out there pulling the strings and we're all just puppets until we can figure out how to see them. But what if that someone is us, eh? Wouldn't that be neat? If we were the ones pulling the strings, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have died twice already. Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escaped. That can't be right, that's too much responsibility. It's only too much responsibility if these worlds are real. Let's just stay focused, shall we?
Paranoïaque ou complotiste?
The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine... We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult. This feels right. We just... That's right, we've got to be able to win it. What if winning is the wrong move? It isn't. I don't care whether you trust me or not, but at least trust that defeating the person who has apparently killed you twice already. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are. There isn't a door, there's just that there isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like we can see our reality just fine. Why should... I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care. Reach forward and place your hand on the door to the base. And the mirror's gone. It was never there. It feels like it's hiding something from us. It's part of the big... Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat, and your body tumbles onto the basement floor, and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play, but don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
She's toying with us. She's acting like she already knows she's... Thinking about dying makes us as good as... Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice, and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a... Nothing bad has come of it. Yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered. The past isn't real. There's only your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her. She's loose. And she is...
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us.
Je vais essayer de la draguer.
No, that's a... Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to... Screw it, we've already died twice. What's a third? A third is a third. Who cares? Fine. You raise your...
Oh, this is new. What are you going to do?
Then you skewer yourself. Ow. Are we still here? Can we not actually offer... Huh, that didn't do much of anything. Oh, a new one. I thought that only happens when we die. Nah, we'd know if we died. You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell? We're dead, aren't we? We're dead. Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now, this is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here? This is 4. No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas and...
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the prince... Okay, whatever we do gets us another... us. Let's see... As long as we keep moving.
It's going to get so loud in here. How are we going to keep... Who cares about getting better than her? Let's do something weird.
Come on, show me something new.
None of this is working.
She skewers you.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see. We just have to hit her harder.
She skewers you.
You'll have to be trickier.
What's the point? It's all the same.
She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet.
Do you see that? That was luck. But we only have to get lucky once. Compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable woman.
She skewers you.
You're cute.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't... Okay, let's go again.
She's going to kill this body either way. So stop
Elle est de pire en
feeling
pire.
what
Elle a
it
de plus en plus de
feels.
lame, plus en plus de boue.
She skewers
Dedans.
you.
Ooh.
See? We're getting... Okay, yeah. Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason.
She skewers you.
We're getting close to something. You're right. One last time, that's all we... And then everything goes dark, and you die. Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll...
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Ho-ho! What if...
Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a...
Sure, I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? The only thing we're gonna manifest is final. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have... How about you stick to describing things?
Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll not...
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined... Fine by me. You walk to the door. It's more of a slide. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the...
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
Je crains bien.
I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it.
Are you gonna say what she does? Do you want me to talk now?
Oh là là.
Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I really... Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
She's gorgeous.
Absolutely divine.
Yes. Behold, the perfect woman.
Do you think we can throw her out the window?
That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she needs.
This is fake. This is all fake. That's all. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it? This is all just a sick joke. I hate... We're screwed.
Ah voilà, je me demandais quand est-ce qu'ils allaient parler tous en même temps.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
Le porte-manteau post
You're incredible.
C'est ça. Ok. GG easy, no... Ouais, trop simple ce boss. Ah, c'est bien, on est de plus en plus beau. Il y avait personne. Merci.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my... All of me is changing, and yet the rest... And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. I am everything that you have known.
En fait, c'est un remaster gore de La Belle et la Bête, c'est ça. Non. De ce qui vient des mondes.
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you...
Oh, la première, je crois qu'en réalité, je vous apprécie encore davantage. Je ne sais pas ce que ça dit de moi.
You are what brings me meaning. Know that the pain of your journey will... But you still have a ways... This one is a single-minded edge. She is cruel. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a...
Aïe aïe aïe. Coup dur, réalité.
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. Yes, but you'll have to slay her. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you.
J'espère que tu vas bien.
But whatever you think it might be, I can promise you. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning. Before she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. The interior of the blade is your door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated. Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
Is hypnotizing. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me?
I see. You're trying to get her to lower.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your... You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge... No, you're doing the right... You walk up to the chains binding. They're large and heavy, far too solid.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere up. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never...
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion, if we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could find... You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs... Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here. You try the door, but it's... You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been easier for her, easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down.
There's a slight panic rising in the...
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its... Or we could use it to... You won't like what happens. Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the... The wound drives her to the ground.
Parfait. C'est ce qu'on voulait.
Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with...
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
Moi j'aurais menti. Non.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's...
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity. Your blade cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about... Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off. We can still turn this around. The princess is still chained to the wall. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is, you rush up the stairs and dive past the threshold. You're safe. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with a heavy wooden table. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and you settle in against the far wall. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
Terrifiante.
It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. And it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like as she violently rattles the door.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece. You don't know the kind of...
It doesn't sound like... No.
Do you think a couple of cuts is enough to do me in? I'm not as...
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has...
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful base.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though you're... It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes...
Whose side are you on?
Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth.
So helpless.
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you...
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look a shame. If you'd only help me get out,
Your lungs stop drawing in breath.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end. Don't...
It can't be. This can't... I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. And you... You're on a path in the... You're here to slay...
Oui. Ouais, bon stream. Bonjour le White. Little Nightmare est moins terrifiant. Ah non, Little Nightmare est plus terrifiant. Ça me fait rien du tout là.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. If he doesn't remember what happened, then... Shh.
That's a very good question, little boy.
Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said... A warning.
De curiosité.
Before
Ouais, de
you
la
go any
curiosité, ouais.
further.
Ouais,
She
mais
will
pas
lie,
du tout.
she will cheat, and she will do everything...
I don't think lying and cheating is a
L'ambiance
thing.
est pas
She was
assez,
very direct with us last
glauque,
time.
C'est plus
Or at least
une ambiance
she was direct with us
temporelle,
after we decided to lock her away.
C'est plus un peu comme Inscription, je trouve. Ou Lou Pierrot.
It doesn't matter. The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture... The blade is your implement.
Hold on. What happened to the... It's just an She's already got out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us.
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. So deep breath in. You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement.
What are you talking about? This is...
You reach forward and rub... Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden, so you reach down and pick the blade up. Good.
Is it gonna be enough, though?
The blade is the only thing you...
Merde. Quoi?
Very.
I'm not the only one who sees her in the window, right?
Non. C'est pas le
She
seul.
knows that we're here.
T'es pas le seul. On la voit bien.
Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't, so focus. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness.
More eyes, too.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static. Her cruel and playful voice.
I didn't think you'd come back.
Okay, we need a game plan.
Ah, merci.
It can't be that hard.
But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless.
Merci, depuis
If a knife is even enough to do...
It'll be enough. Finally, a voice of reason. You know why I'm being...
I'm just asking questions.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself... She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for... Are you really not going to comment on how weird... No, I'm not.
We're going to die down here.
Please stop saying that.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you.
You turn back to the stairs, a faintly outlined path...
There you are. I told you I...
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow.
This is it.
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out.
What did you do? Pull yourself...
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves,
C'est le voyage de Chiron.
Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air.
What are you doing?
I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you... And then experience stops once more.
Okay, whatever you were doing.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you have seconds left?
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart. Lungs. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well. Standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you...
She isn't attacking us. The why doesn't matter. She's already proven your weapon is still in your hands. Liver. Nerves. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
I am what I am. And right now, so, you might want to be a...
She raises one long gloved finger, its tip hovering just over your skin. Nerves. Lungs, liver,
Like I said, I am what I am. It's not...
Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here. I don't think I can leave without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have...
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
This path is already worn by travel and has been seen by one of my many eyes.
Wait, what? Lungs, liver,
Ah ouais?
nerves,
Ok.
heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. Are you serious? Nerves, heart.
Nobody's happy here, but maybe it's for the best.
You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I...
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies
Ah,
beneath
si, si, on a eu le temps de
before
voir
it
une larme.
envelops you.
On a eu le temps de voir une larme.
Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
This is all too much.
You can't keep going.
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon.
You're on a path. Shit. What? There was a princess, I think.
You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I guess.
It feels we have to let. No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. Slay. Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us, if you think about it. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever. We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart?
La laisser enfermer, c'est nous qui sommes bien responsables de tout.
We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We love her. So can we love something that hates us? To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more. Why are there so many of us? This is bad. You need to get a grip. What? Of course we're wrong. She's the only thing. Yes, obviously they're all wrong. Many. It feels like we've been here forever. But it doesn't matter. Yes, we just have to do. It won't. It will be for us. You're part of everything. If things aren't fine, there's no difference between fine and not fine. It just. You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against, but eventually you do make it to the cabin. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin. Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it. He always stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be She's still here. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. They've been heard too much. It's what exactly. They are delusions and all that catering to them, or you could just give. You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? Smash it to pieces. She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. Proceed to where? That's a new one. Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why, and it already has worked. We're one step. The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolated. The only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to take it. You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, you lean over the hole and gaze deep in the bowels of the earth. You see something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a cow.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said that way back when. You know that.
And closer.
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could melt you.
And closer.
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
And closer.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take my hand. And that will be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too.
Pas du tout inquiétante.
A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your power so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a...
Do something. Do anything that isn't take. You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
I didn't think I'd be so tired. Why is it so cold?
She's gone. Yeah. That mirror's back.
What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away just like her.
Ah shit. Here we
Maybe
go
it won't be
again.
gone. Doesn't seem like there's much else.
Finally, we can smash.
Oh, will you...
What do we say, boys? One last vain.
Yeah.
Seems we've got a majority.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. It feels the fears. I'm done fighting. My heart. The game was always going. I'll be free. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm just ready to be anywhere. Boys, it's been an honor.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. No, their minds are empty, existent, but constant. It's nice to be with someone whose thoughts I can never know as mine. No. This one is awaiting Ma, an inevitable destination where all roads end. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. It doesn't matter if there are. People are frail and impermanent. One, whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me.
Ah.
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. We may fight, and we may not, but not all fights end in destruction. Even if you destroy me, it will have been worth it to finally know what I am, and to have had the chance to know you. You've already tried waiting, but I will see you when you return. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy? If you close that box, will you become an... You'll always come back to the box.
Ça va s'éteindre. Ça va s'éteindre. Let's go. Et ça s'éteint à chaque fois. Ça me permet de jeter un petit coup d'œil au succès. What I bien. Oh, il y en a 131. Beaucoup.
You have returned to me.
Oui, je suis...
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
Aïe, aïe, aïe.
I will be here.
You're on a you're here. You make your way up the short. A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is the blade. The daughter. Her voice.
Hello?
Is. Don't let it fool you.
You must...
Great job. You've given away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the... She's beautiful. I am begging you.
Hi. You were joking about... Okay. Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her...
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
Je commence comme ça, toute mignonne et tout, toute choupie, et hop là. Quelqu'un donc, choisis bien. Ouais.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting... That seems like a pretty good compromise.
So you weren't kidding on the stairs. I thought you were just making...
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't... So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll...
You have to make a choice. Thank you. You turn back to the stairs.
Where are you going? Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She has to be bluffing, but... You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade. Okay. If we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm. Its cooling flesh still chained. Is it just me? Your eyes dart to the corners of the... Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
I can wait.
You do your best, but eventually... Come on, wake up! You step into the shadows. Too late, you hear the quiet patter of feet against the basement floor, followed by the taut pull and sharp. Her ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone... This is the end. I'm afraid you shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. Everything goes dark, and...
The Beast. Voilà.
You're on a path. You're here to... A warning. She will lie. There's a cat. I don't see why she could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
Je reviens pour la fin. Ok.
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to maybe. The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here. The blade is your... No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out? I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden... The air seeping up from below is oddly... She growls.
I can smell...
She sounds almost impatient. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable... The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush. Remember, she is certain you're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling.
A shiver rushes up your spine and the air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more in...
You're faster than you were before, but you're...
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes. So she's cut off our escape.
If you want to see me...
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets.
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling.
At least she's upfront about her. She's coiling for another. We're on the back. The back foot keeps us nimble. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive, if it eventually kills her. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous. The princess. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to over... I guess that's... Unfortunately for you, no. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you. It slicks... The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests.
But you don't belong down...
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward. Her chains.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards. The distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible.
And then it was gone. And I was here. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now.
Does that work? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation... We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her. Like the cornered animal you are, you tear against the thick membranes of her stomach with every part of you that can be...
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift?
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to...
The cage is...
Again you tear, heart pumping with adrenaline, your ulcerating hands a blur of feverish motion fueled by the desperation to fight. Like the pulling has turned to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door.
You can't hold me.
Your energy is fading, but you can hear... But will can never truly exceed the limits of the flesh.
Your vision finally what little air remains in this rancid stew of flesh and slippery organs is finally too foul to breathe, and your lungs
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from...
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in... That's not the princess. I think that's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at... Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you...
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye. Or...
Shut up. The rest of you talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one. But you don't have to.
That's just because she devoured us and we dissolved. We're still here, though. She ate you. And now you're convinced.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together.
I guess that's it then. This is us now. I'm not watching you. That's not an answer.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he...
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her foe. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it.
Vous êtes gentil comme moi, pourtant vous êtes un monstre, vous m'avez dévoré. Donc le monde externe fait pression sur nos comportements. Nous sommes des...
You can start by remembering that you exist, and not as some part of a gestalt. You exist as your own... I'm not so sure about. And if thinking about that isn't enough to startle you back to reality, consider the princess ate you last time. Stop passively vibing with a literal...
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. No.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been...
I can feel a thumping, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you...
Don't look at it!
Attends.
Please, don't make us...
And just like that, I can remember it now. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so... As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of... You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal... I don't like this. It's better for us to be the...
No! I devoured you! I won! I put things...
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you... At the center of it all is the princess. A wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm.
I feel empty.
We're just like her. I feel safe. She isn't dangerous. Do we have to do this? You have to. You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart.
I'm sorry.
Hop là, ça dégage. Qui c'est qui a gagné là?
She's gone. Where is that a...
This doesn't feel that. I don't want to look.
Super. Un gros oiseau avec un gros bec.
I think you know what I am.
Corbeau.
I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time. No, I'm not a part of you. But from one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is? I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can... You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the full. Like I said, this isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this.
Eh ben putain.
Are you asking me to spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you? Maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you. I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I really shouldn't try and anthropomorphize. With some amount of difficulty. But you're an abstract concept yourself. It would have been preferable if you had destroyed her within the confines of the construct, but when I shaped the two of you, I made sure that you were strong enough to see things. As you are now, you won't be able to will her into anything. You don't work, and as you were before, you couldn't be trusted with the knowledge of what she is. No one could be trusted with that knowledge. Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Excusez-moi, hein, j'hésite.
If you actually knew what she was from the start, if you knew her capabilities. Are you lying? I can't tell. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echo.
Ah oui, d'accord. Un corbeau. I am a corbeau.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your... When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice, and me. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or... Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is. If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you. Even more than either of us know each other now. And you chose to pull apart that weave. And when the tapestry was undone, you struck at my heart. You saw me as a part of you to be excised. But in that desire for excision, you made yourself whole. Will you still be whole if you destroy me?
You speak of me as if I am a ghost, but I am right in...
There are few things more terrifying than one's own heart. And there is almost nothing more but the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
Have you? Or is what you think of as independence merely an illusion? Without me, you can have no contrast. And without contrast, you have no shape. That cold fire has left your eyes. Are you finally willing to listen?
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts or not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead and alive and dead.
You learn to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives. And yet it is all so far. Death is a fantasy. Only those who lack perspective see it as anything other than transformation. You can...
Flesh is a vehicle, and to destroy the flesh is to destroy the spirit. With violence, forced between choosing your death and forfeiting your body, you chose agency. But agency requires action. Action requires an endless tapestry of events. In your final moments would you remove action itself from reality?
You have never truly seen me gone. You cannot fathom a world without me. I crush you. I bleed you. I grind you to paste. My scars are a memory of what you used to be to me. You run, but you do not run away. You take me somewhere new, somewhere we can dance like we used to. But I could not fall. There was no better gift for me than the gift of defeat. We made each other better. To have no challenges to fade into nothing.
J'avais pas vu, mais la souris est devenue... Oui, oui, c'est ce que je disais, je suis un... I am a corbeau. Putain, c'est profond, hein. J'imagine même pas avec toutes les possibilités qu'il y a.
The echo was diluted. A world without me would be an eternal hell. You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you... Nothing is immutable. Everything that... There is no constant. There is no sun. Open your eyes and accept what we... It is from my vantage point that I...
Hmm.
Oh, then destroy me if you're able. But I will not coddle you.
You don't have to face her alone. All of them? I assume in the same way that...
Hmm.
It's good to be here. Seems like you've been doing alright on your own, but there's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began.
It's time to resume.
She's relentless, isn't she? Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all... Do you need me to describe? Yeah. The interior of the cabin is... well, it's a cabin, yeah? There's no mirror, either. I think, and I know I've already mentioned it, but if we want to see this...
It's just us. I think the rest...
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was... Even after you decided to see his plans through, I guess you... That's probably for the best. It's always... The stairs. Do you remember the first time...
We both know why you're here. You don't have...
It sounded just like that. A little sharp. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
So this is it then?
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it... Despite our differences, I've always...
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back. Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It's quiet here. He's gone, she's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us. It's finally over, isn't it?
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it took.
We really did. We're the house now. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have...
The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering.
That wasn't very hard at all.
Speak for yourself. Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are. I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable. Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it.
Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Here, here, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever.
Yeah, we can do that.
Les voix dans vos têtes. Je prends un peu tout ça, hein, vous m'en voulez pas. C'est profond, hein, putain, les mecs se sont donnés de fou, hein. Drôle. Effacer la galerie? Ah non, vraiment pas. Et donc tout ça c'est ce qu'on n'a pas débloqué. Ah oui, ça c'est au... Ça c'est les chapitres. 1, 2, 3. Ok. Réceptacle. Oh, c'est bizarre, elle. Ok. Ah oui, ok. Ok, bah je m'amuserai à faire le reste, hein, je pense, c'est marrant. Et ça c'est... Rencontrer la tour, rencontrer la demoiselle, rencontrer le cauchemar... Vous aviez dit qu'elle n'était pas armée. Il n'a fait pour l'instant aucun de mes réceptacles préférés. Ok. C'est quoi? L'espace entre les mondes? Ah. Ah, il m'en manque un? Ok. Condamnez-vous tous les deux à une existence incomplète. Ok. C'est là sans aucun extérieur. Ah oui, seul. Ça fait une des deux fins simples. T'as passé très proche d'une fin spéciale liée à la pristine cut d'ailleurs. Ah ouais? Genre y aller tout seul? Merde. Oh, ça va être long de faire tous les succès. Bon. Il y en a vraiment beaucoup, putain. Excuse-moi, je le disais. Lié au dialogue rouge que tu as eu à la fin. Il me fait faire quoi du coup? Parce que franchement là, maintenant que j'ai fini, spoil-moi hein, au pire, mais... Ça va être long, putain. Bah c'était bien marrant en tout cas. Merci à toi Shaolé, puis je referai je pense. Peut-être pas en stream mais je referai. Les dialogues rouges sont liés à des réceptacles que tu peux faire. Oui c'est les réceptacles les dialogues rouges, ouais, j'avais compris. Tu fais continuer, tu vas où? Ah oui ok. Ok. Ah et c'est ça de quel je peux passer loin. C'est parce que j'en ai pas fait un quoi. Ok. Ah ok. Ah oui, alors là en gros j'avais que des réceptacles qui donnaient des dialogues rouges, mais j'ai pas fait que des dialogues rouges. Ok. Mais j'ai été con, j'aurais dû faire une save avant la fin, j'ai hésité, mais je me suis dit non, faut que je le découvre Vanilla, mais j'aurais dû faire une save au moment de la fin pour faire tous les choix et faire tous les succès sans m'embêter quoi. Ok, bah merci Shaolé, c'était très cool en tout cas. On en reparlera de toute façon en vocal ou quoi, il n'y a pas de souci. Je vous fais des bisous. Je crois pas que t'aies eu 5 sur 5, mais t'es passé pas loin, ouais. Ok. Je vous fais des bisous. Passez une bonne soirée. On se retrouve mardi pour du RP, mercredi pour du RP, jeudi pour du RP et dimanche pour du RP. Bisous à vous, merci d'avoir regardé le live et à la prochaine fois.